of Rational Romantics. So you have got Cass and Deb sitting here in the past with you pre-Tudum. So we don't know what happened at Tudum, but we want to cover our bases. So we want to make sure that we are updating you on the Bridgerverse of things that happened outside of that, and then also hitting some of your fan questions and everything, just in case Tudum maybe doesn't give us all the things that we're hoping for. So that's where you're at. If you are wondering, like, why the heck don't they address anything at Tudum in this section, we'll pop back in and we'll discuss all the things later. But we wanted to make sure that we have a great episode for you guys, regardless of what happens, because we always deliver on our promises, even when other people don't.
That's a fact.
So we're going to dive in with some updates, and we're going to answer some of your fan questions, and we're going to have a great time in the Bridgerverse, even if we're a little disappointed as a fandom this week. But hopefully we're not, I say, as someone in the past, and jealous of future us for knowing.
As always. This is so funny, like, to think of people listening to it, like, in real time, because we know by then, but yeah, we're just being proactive. We're just really high functioning anxiety, everybody. That's what this is. That's what this is. And we just love to chat.
Oh my gosh, this is absolutely born out of, guys, I'll give you the backstory. This is born out of me anxiety texting Deb a giant paragraph of terror after Taylor didn't show up at the AMAs, and I now no longer trust my ability to predict.
We're so sensitive, you guys. We're so sensitive. We can't. One blip and we're thrown off course. What is predicting anyway? So here we are. Because, you think one thing's gonna happen and then it doesn't, and then what else could go wrong? So this is this episode. Or the intro at least.
So yeah, and who knows, maybe we'll have gotten everything right. But
Maybe.
in the meantime,
Yes.
let's look at some updates, because we have some big ones. Like, even if Tudum doesn't give us great stuff, this was a big week in the Bridgerverse, because what huge news did we find out, Deb, that we have been predicting and excited about for forever?
Well, season 4 of Bridgerton has officially wrapped in a very subtle way. We were potentially expecting a little bit of more of a grand announcement, but we heard through the grapevine that it has wrapped, and it's very exciting. We kind of did predict this end of May. We are just about that, and 9 months later, they have wrapped filming, which is super surreal.
Yeah, it is. And it feels like one of those things that we kept feeling like was coming. Like, we knew we were going to get there, but it's been kind of this slow wind down for the last 3 weeks or so. And, finally finding out in sort of not a big way, just being like, oh, a few people, mostly from the crew, posted some photos. We don't know really who all was there. We know for sure that Victor Ali, who's John, Masali Beduza, who is Michaela, Emma Naomi, who is Alice Mondrich, and then Gracie McGonigal, who's the new maid, Hazel. We know for sure that they were there. We saw photos of them, but they're it for the cast. So, and definitely more of the cast could have been there, but they're the only ones we have confirmed, so I don't know, but it's wrapped.
It's wrapped. Yeah. I mean, it seemed to be confirmed with these behind the scenes pictures that we saw of like the table decor with, some masks and, little hints of a masquerade here and there. So yeah, putting all these pieces together, it makes sense that this was a wrap party. But yeah, who knows who else was there? Hopefully, and logically, they all would have been there, but you never know with crazy schedules, and who knows? But it really does seem confirmed that it's wrapped for good, which is really exciting, but I don't know, like, it's a whole new step in our journey in the Bridgerton.
Well, it is, and it means the end for a while of the like casual and accidental clues. Like where we would get little crumbs from filming, we could figure out what actors were on set by, where they were at, all of the crazy stalking that we do as fans. It's sort of the end of that era of Bridgerton,
Yeah.
and now we're in the deep depths of winter, where the only things will be really the official releases. Everything else kind of doesn't come up until official press. So it's an interesting time, but it's a lot of fan time. So we'll be good. Yeah, we'll be good.
It's a lot of community building time. We're in it together, and we're just gonna be waiting for the little crummies. Hopefully by fall we get some sort of indication of when we're gonna get something. Who knows? Who knows what it's gonna be? But yeah. You know what's fun though about this part is that when you get like Shonda Rhimes or, Jess Brownell, Julia Quinn, like in the wild, then you might hear things like Shonda Rhimes saying, "Oh, I'm in the thick of editing," or "I'm like editing this." And it's like, as soon as we start talking editing, it just starts to feel even more like butterflies in your stomach kind of thing. You're like, "Ooh, they're like putting things together," which is exciting. So very cool to start hearing those little rumblings amongst the higher ups in Shondaland Netflix.
Oh, completely. And, well, they love to tease us with little pieces of information like that. Like, Julia Quinn this week, and I know it's not personal, but I felt like she was dangling this like a carrot in front of my face. And she could have said the headline in Us Weekly could have been like, Cass, I know who the lead of season 5 is.
That's basically what it was. It's basically it.
Yeah,
She just teased you relentlessly throughout the entire article.
that's exactly what it was. What if ever, or they say everything's not about me, but what if it is? Um,
Exactly. Exactly. Taylor said it best.
exactly. She always does. Um, Yeah, so Julia had an interview in Us Weekly where she did share that yes, she knows the leads of 5 and 6. Obviously, they have clearly made those decisions. She was very cagey. She reminded us that, like, they could go in a different order or not. It was extremely non committal. Yeah, so it didn't give us a whole lot more information in that camp, but it did tell us that Julia knows.
It's funny you say that because to me, as soon as I read that, I was like, if you're not going out of order, why would you say that?
Sure.
So for me, I was like, I'm gonna remember this if it's Francesca, because if so, that might be her just setting the foundation basically of being like, yeah, things can change, things can change. So I don't know. To me, I was like, oh, maybe she's hinting very, very subtly, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, and she definitely did mention her surprise at how upset people were about the change in order between Paulin and Benefi. So that did seem a little bit like maybe a hint of like, hey guys, remember it can change. So when we get this announcement that it is actually Francesca, I could very much see that that's what she was doing there. And also for what it's worth, through some rumblings, through some very background channels of things, we have heard that indicators are for a Francesca season 5. That is so broad, so non-specific, but obviously have to be deeply non-committal with that. But that is what has been generally heard from us.
It's very exciting. And again, like you say, bringing up the Benefi outrage, I feel like that that heightens Benefi's season so much. And I've said this before, like it just makes sense to like hype up Eloise. Like just a reminder, guys, that just means we're getting more of Eloise, potentially more of Sir Philip. So yeah, to me, this comment and the whole theme of this article kind of gives me more faith that it is Michaela and Francesca season 5. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it just feels like a little Easter egg we might look back on. I'm gonna like save it in the back of my mind.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, And that's so funny because I actually just recently looked back. This is not at all even on our notes or anything, but I was just thinking about it. For when we soft confirmed Cressida in season 4, I
Yeah.
was looking back at articles from after season 3 came out, and like Jess Brownell was pretty clear that they were going to bring Cressida back. Like, I was surprised at how direct she was about, she was kind of like, we didn't do the ending where her mom got her out of the carriage because like there was an alternate ending where her mom was going to rescue her. And she's like, we didn't do that because it felt like an ending and we want to bring her back. I was like, oh,
Mm,
like I didn't remember it being quite that direct. So it sounds, I think it's pretty well confirmed then.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in retrospect, it's like something we didn't really pick up on then,
Mm-hmm.
but now that we're speculating so much and going back, that is pretty telling.
Yeah.
It is not the end of Cressida. There's way too much. The door is wide open, and I'm glad that they did that because it allows us to speculate. And yeah, I have a good feeling that we will see Cressida, but she's not the only one that we may see in season 4. Recently, there is some confirmation elsewhere in the Bridgerverse, wasn't there, Cass?
Oh, yes. Well, and we got an absolutely fabulous interview with Bessie Carter and her mom, where, I mean, I mean,
Please.
she confirmed that she's in season 4. I mean, even though she didn't confirm, she confirmed. Like, the interviewer asks her, like, oh, are you in the 4th season? And she goes, I can't say I am bound. And then with like big giant eyes, and then her mom, Imelda Staunton, is like, ooh, hello, like information.
Did you catch that, perchance? I love that. I love that so much. Because, like, again, you're not saying that if you're not in it, you know? So I think we are going to be seeing Prudence Featherington Dankworth in season 4 of Bridgerton. We have to. They're the best. They're such a comedic relief. I love it so much. Throw them into the Featherington and Bridgerton drama of getting the Featherington household. Like, throw them in there. Just Varley, Prudence, Philippa, all pissed off because Penelope and Colin are getting the house. Just, I love it. Just give it to me.
I love it so much. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. They're so funny. They're so fun. It's gonna be perfect. I can't wait. So I'm glad that we're gonna get them back.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, the big event. So us from the past, again, you guys in the future will either get to laugh at us at how off we are, or be like, holy shit, these girls are psychic. So
Either way. It could go either way.
it really could. So Deb, what do you think we're gonna get at Tudum?
Let me just readjust here. Okay, I'm ready. Pretty sure, like 99% sure, we are getting a spin-off announcement. Violet and Edmund prequel, the whole thing. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. We are convinced that that's what's going to happen. And I think that a certain picture really, really set that in stone.
Yeah, I completely agree. So just casually, one day, Connie Jenkins Gregg, who plays young Violet, with Keir Charles and Katie Brabin, who play Lord and Lady Ledger, her parents. All three of them together.
For no other reason other than fill in the blank. Obviously, because they're getting together for, I don't know, rehearsals, fittings, name it, you name it. Something to do with filming a certain Bridgerton spin-off prequel. It has to be. I mean, the odds are very high that it's related to something or other. Like, it could be, they could be randomly out in the wild together. Sure. But there's no better reason to reconnect then with a new project on their horizon. So I don't know. It feels like so close to confirmed. I can like taste it. Like Tudum this weekend. They're gonna announce it. I'm convinced.
Yeah, I think so too, honestly. And I think that they're together because they're filming the announcement. So I don't think that they're going to do it live at Tudum. I think that that's what they were doing. I also think that for one other, this is my other clown piece. This is my crazy fitting pieces together and being a lunatic. So Holly White, who styles India Amatifio, who plays young Queen Charlotte,
Yes.
she posted a picture of India looking gorgeous. Uh, the caption was Queen and then at India, and that was it. Then it was just all of her stylists.
Oh,
Nothing
it's
else,
crazy.
no hashtags, no anything with it, like just that. And then the next day, Holly posted a couple photos on her stories that were like a background. So there was like a piano and some like wisteria ivy looking stuff, not like literally wisteria, but like kind of that same vibe. Some like swoopy fabric that's all pretty, candles, candelabras, and I'm like, oh, that's the background. That's the background of when they're gonna sit down and they're gonna talk about this and they're gonna do this announcement, and it's gonna be Violet and her parents, and it's gonna be young Queen Charlotte, and they're gonna do this announcement, and that's gonna be the spin-off announcement. So if I'm crazy, I'm so sorry guys, but if you see that, then I'm a genius.
Oh my gosh, it makes sense. It just makes sense because that those backdrops are they scream Bridgerton.
I do.
Absolutely. And why else will Holly be like I mean there could be a million reasons I guess that she would be on a set or like a like room that's that beautiful and regal, but all the little things together, I don't know. I think that that's what it is. And oh, like if India is part of this too, like that is even more good news. And it's just all Queen Charlotte resurfacing everywhere is it's freaking me out because I'm like, there's no way this is just by accident. This is not like random.
And we have seen just so many posts from like a bunch of the different Netflix accounts, from like Strong Black Lead has been doing a bunch of them, like all of the offshoot Netflix things that are Netflix properties, accounts. They've been promoting the ever loving crap out of Queen Charlotte. And I just don't think that that happens on accident. Like all across several different accounts, a memo got circulated around Netflix HQ. Like it just did.
Yes, all the content departments of every Netflix they were activated for Queen Charlotte. They're like, open the file, guys. Let's go. And yeah, I just really hope that this next segment on the podcast is aligned with what we're saying. It's gonna be so funny to edit this.
Hello, listeners. You are unfortunately in the darkest timeline, because if you are hearing this, we're answering fan questions instead of talking about the great things that we got it to do. Not that we're not super excited to answer your fan questions, because we are. But this is this is the consolation prize for all of us that we didn't get what we wanted it to do. So
Womp womp.
here we are.
But it'll be fun. It's okay. We'll be okay. We will make it through together.
Yes, we will make it through. We will make it through together with your awesome questions and our peppiness, because we still have hope at this point. When we're recording this, we still believe that we will not need this segment. So we're just going to randomly go through. We have some ones from May 1st that you guys had. Reminder that on early in each month, we will drop a new fan question box to get your fan questions. So be looking out for that in our stories over on rationalromantics.pod on Instagram. So I had a question from @4282. They asked, we need Phoebe back. Do you think it's possible? Do you think we're ever going to see our Duchess of Hastings again on our screens? What do you think?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, you don't openly admit that you're waiting for a phone call to come back if you don't actually want to come back. And if you're shown on Netflix, I don't think you're going to like read that, hear that, and not think, oh, maybe we should bring back our first lead that propelled us into like this massive success. Like I I think that it didn't make sense at a point to keep her in it, but I think that given the enthusiasm from Phoebe, it makes sense to bring her back. So fingers crossed. There's, now there's the two ladies left for season 5 and 6. So it could be really nice to see some sister power, as, a experienced married woman, and maybe ready to give some new perspectives to her sisters. So I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, I love that. I'm thinking like Eloise' wedding.
Oh my God, yes. Please. Or yes. I'm sorry. Let's just bask in that sweet thought before I say what I'm gonna say,
No, go
because
ahead. Say the sweet
I'm
thought.
gonna
I want to
say,
hear it.
because I'm gonna say, what if John's funeral? So sorry.
That'd be rough.
There's big events on the horizon that we could plug in Daphne Bridgerton return.
Yeah.
So good or bad, we'll see.
Okay. Well, two very different, vibes, but I'm here for either one. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, next question is, let's go with at PETA Charnock. They say, I'm a little worried, but will we see more Colin in season 4? What do you think?
I mean, yes, right? Like, definitely more Colin. Um, I don't know. I think I'm gonna assume. I don't know that that's what the person is asking. I'm gonna assume if it's about like his individual journey. I hope we see a little bit more of that. I did really. That was one thing that I did really want to see, like him opening up to Penelope about his writing process and stuff. I think that there's a ton of space for that after they're married. So I would love to see that a little bit in season 4. How they sit, like I think I've said this before, but like I want to see them sitting in bed together, like editing each other's manuscripts. Like I want to see that kind of exchange. I also am really excited for him to give some advice to his big bro. Like he can sit Benedict down and be like, "Hey, this is what I learned through my journey. Let me help you out here. Like nothing else matters but love." And I'm excited for that. So I think we're going to see some really good moments from Colin in season 4.
I agree. I agree. I love that. And you've said it in a past episode, like this is going to be like a honeymoon season for Colin and Penelope. So I'm really hoping to see more of the silly Colin. I think we didn't get as much silly, funny, happy-go-lucky Colin in season 3. He was very serious and very suave, which was great. But now that he's like settled into like this cute little life, I would love to see a little bit more of the fun Colin. So yes, I definitely think we're going to see a lot more than we think of Colin in season 4.
Love that. Okay. Can't wait to see our older siblings, or well, I guess our married siblings. Colin's younger,
Yeah.
but helping out their other siblings. Okay, so at Cindy Chung asked, the cast is musically talented. Do you want a musical ep? And if so, what song do you want to hear?
Cindy! We're definitely a big fan of the idea of a musical episode in Bridgerton. Um, what song would we want to hear? Would I want to hear? I mean, I think all I'm thinking about right now is like the 80s music that we said, that we talked about, and like a jukebox a jukebox episode. Um, so yeah, I would love one of our 80s picks, a Journey song. Like we said, we need a Journey episode, a Glee Journey episode in Bridgerton. So yeah, I would love that. Some originals too. We've talked about some songs from modern Ollie Hickinson. So maybe some songs from him. I mean, anything would make me happy. So just give me a musical episode, please.
I love that. I completely agree. I need a musical episode so much. Um, if it's not a Christmas special, which I totally would love, I'd love a Christmas special, them singing some Christmas songs. Like, that would be super fun.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
I feel like, I don't know why this was my first thought, but when I looked at this question, I was like, I want to hear them sing Toxic by Britney Spears. I don't know why, but that's what I want.
Suddenly that's all I want to. Toxic by Britney Spears. Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh, can I ask why? Who do
I,
you envision the most as like the front lead singer of that ensemble?
well, Jonathan Bailey.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course. Please.
my man. But, like, very strongly, like, I don't know why, but I'm picturing the men doing this. I'm picturing the Bridgerton bros doing this. I was not picturing the girls. I was picturing the boys singing Toxic.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I would not survive that at all. But you know what it makes me think of too? Another song I would love to see. I would just love some High School Musical renditions here. And I've always said, and it's on my Benefit playlist on Spotify, is um the song where they're getting ready for prom in High School Musical 3, um, A Night to Remember. That whole ensemble of like the boys being like, oh, I don't want to get dressed. I can't believe I have to go to this thing. And then the girls are like, oh my God, it's the best night ever. I get to wear my dress. And I'm like, that is so like masquerade ball. Like all the men being like, do we have to fucking do a masquerade ball? You know? But then all the girls being so pumped. That's a dream. That would be my dream.
I love that. I have no context. I'm pretty sure I've never seen the third one. Uh,
Oh my God, Cass. No, this is not an elder millennial conversation again, is it?
okay, so I was like, I want to say I was maybe 7 when the first one came out. So,
Oh my God, I'm so old. Okay, sorry, the first one. The first one. Um, I'm talking the third one, but
yeah.
still, I like graduated at the same time as that third one
Oh,
came out. So
okay.
the lineups for like prom, it was like, oh my God, this is so High School Musical 3.
So I do remember that on my 10th, no, not my 10th birthday, my ninth birthday, we watched High School Musical against my will. So,
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, we'll work on this. We can work through this, Kat. We can work through it.
it's gonna be a stumbling block in our relationship, but
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. And I
I
have to
liked the
say,
second one though. I liked the
okay,
second one.
that's the summer one
Yeah,
where they're like on
I like Sharpay.
vacay. Oh,
So,
Sharpay, yes.
yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever. We'll do a High School Musical rewatch, I guess, or first time watch apparently. I'll send you the YouTube of the scene that I'm talking about, and maybe you'll understand what I mean.
I feel like I can
Oh,
picture it. I remember the
yeah.
vague outlines of these characters. Corbin Blue was in it. Uh,
Oh, yeah,
the
he was.
fedora wearing guy that was Sharpay's
Yes,
brother.
yes, yes, whatever. I don't know his name, but yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm also going to preface in case in future this comes up. I have a lot of Camp Rock songs on my Benefit playlist, and that's mostly because it's a lot of like he's looking for a girl and she's like I'm right in front of you, but you don't even know. So if ever we have another elder millennial conversation, I just need you to know Camp Rock is also in my DNA. So we're just getting that out in the
To
open.
be fair, so I don't know. I've never seen anything Camp Rock. To be fair, that might not be an age thing. That might be Cass was a fucking nerd as a little kid. So
Okay.
I did not watch any of the things about like my version of boys and romance was like Pride and Prejudice because I read the book. Like my mom read it to me as a bedtime story when I was 7. And then my other like
Oh.
daytime watches was dinosaurs and Egyptology. So I wasn't a Disney Channel kid.
Okay, fair enough. But you're talking a kid. I wasn't a teenager. I was almost an adult. But that also hits. But anyways, that's fine. I love that childhood for you, and I hope you love that like late teens for me.
I do love it. Okay, but if it helps, my teens then though was the Vampire Diaries. So I went
Hmm.
also very similar but very different.
Yes.
But
Okay.
yeah,
She loves a romance. It's just darker. It's fine.
exactly. Yeah. Well, and it's so funny because it cracked me up. I looked back at okay, the shows that have like truly defined me have been The Vampire Diaries, Outlander, and Bridgerton. And I was like, love triangle between siblings. Love triangle with like supernatural elements, including where the guy is the ancestor of the other person and like family things, whatever. And then love triangle between siblings for Bridgerton season 2. And I was like,
She loves
I,
a love triangle, guys.
I do. I'm obsessed. I don't understand why people hate it so hard. I
I mean, yeah, I don't hate it. It's not my first choice, but clearly it is yours. I've always been, though, we're going off like this question, but I've always been a friends to lovers girl. I've always been rooting for like Ron and Hermione in Harry Potter. You know what I mean? Like I've always loved that stuff. So like Ross and Rachel, like give me the friends to lovers. So anyways, that's funny. We should do like um a lore episode, like talk about like where are like okay,
I love
that's
that.
that's an idea. That's an idea. So
That's
anyways, talk
happening.
about like the
Okay,
origins. I love that.
switching from the fan question to the schedule document.
Yes. Taking notes. Anyways, so yeah, would love a musical episode is what we're trying to say.
I totally forgot what question we were
Okay, how about at Izzy Rose 11? What is your dream guest star on Bridgerton?
on. Okay, so immediately my first thought is Hugh Laurie as older Reynolds.
Whoa! Oh my God! That is so good!
Thank you. That was one of my fan casts one time for that, and I was like, I need him on Bridgerton anyway, but him as older Reynolds just feels right.
Wow. Wow, that's good.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. That's the question answered.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. Okay, what else you got? Or is that it?
No, girl, hit us up. You gotta tell me. Who do you want to see on Bridgerton?
Who
Come
I want to
on.
see on Bridgerton? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm actually so poor at fan casting. I'm so bad at it
Okay, but
because
it doesn't have to be like a person. Like, it doesn't have to be like as them or whatever. You can just be like, here's a random
okay,
person I'd love to see show up. Like, yeah. I had another thought. I'm going to interject. I'm so sorry. And before
that's
you,
okay.
if you want. So when I was doing uh, like a bunch of like Queen Charlotte stuff,
Yeah.
one time, Venus Williams tagged me in a story about Queen Charlotte, which was like one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me, because she
What?
loves Queen Charlotte. So I would love for Venus Williams to show up on Queen Charlotte.
Could you imagine? That is so cool. What a fun fact about you. How come I've never known that? Don't
Well,
gatekeep that stuff, Cass.
okay, so let me actually. This can get edited out. Actually, now that as I said that, I realized it's because it's on my dummy account that's just for Queen Charlotte. Because I wanted to do an account that was just pure Queen Charlotte, and I didn't want to do it all on my page because people weren't really responding to it super much. So I have another page that I'm not really active on now because it's man, I really Queen Charlotte. But with the spinoff,
What?
people were not like engaging with my content as much when I posted on my main page, and I was like, that's dumb. I'm gonna make a thing just devoted to that, and so I did.
Really? Are you
Yeah.
gonna reactivate it or like relog into it if there's a spin-off for Queen Charlotte?
I think it'll depend again on how well the content does on my main page.
Hmm.
What I might do is I might like try and like I might not really like reveal that it's me, but like because I've never done anything of my face or anything
Surprise.
on that one, but like
Yeah.
synthesize those a little bit more and do some collab posts and try and like bring bring it across. But yeah,
So cool. Such a fun fact. All right. Well, Venus Williams,
yeah.
come on down. Okay. Well, for me, I mean, I don't know. I just think of like the classic like British not rom-com, but British like period dramas like Keira Knightley or like I would love like Kate Winslet.
I love that.
Like BFFs with Violet Bridgerton, please. That'd be so cool. Um, so yeah, some of those.
I love that.
Yeah. Yours is better though.
Okay, to be fair though, I had that like locked and loaded. I had the Hugh Laurie fan cast from way back, so like
Yeah,
that's
you
in
had
there.
that real fast, real speedy lightning.
Okay, so at KM Woolgrove asked, how do you think they're going to seed Eloise's story in season 4? What do you think we're going to see from our girl Eloise?
Um, Honestly, it's such an enigma to me. I don't even know. I think that I feel like she might have a similar awakening from her travels to Scotland, same kind of way that Colin did too. I think she's gonna come back claiming that she knows exactly what she wants. She knows like what she's gonna do. I think she might have a like maybe like a business side endeavor, like an idea. Like I think she'll come back with like an idea of what she wants to do that has nothing to do with getting married, and she's gonna like hyperfixate on that because we know she loves to do that. She loves to hyperfixate on things, so I could see her just coming back, feeling confident, um, feeling like it was the right decision to go to Scotland, and just try and maybe take cues from like Kate in season 4. Sorry, Kate Sharma in season 2. You know how she's like, I'm gonna take care of my sister, my family. And then I'll be a governess, and like that's just what my life is gonna be. I feel like she might take cues from that story arc or character arc, I should say. So yeah, I feel like yeah, she's just gonna be more confident and like driven. So yeah, what do you think?
I love that. I love that so much. Um, so my big theory, this isn't so much in season 4. I think it would maybe be like maybe more season 5 if we see her, if her main season isn't until season 6. But one of my pet theories is that the reason that Eloise was reading Emma is that she's going to become a famous Ton matchmaker. And so I could see her maybe like seeds of it in season 4 where she's looking at kind of still looking down on marriage, but she's starting to realize like how happy her siblings are, and then how fulfilled, like seeing Penelope be both a wife and a mother and then like a businesswoman, that she can realize like, oh, the right supportive partner is a good thing for lots of women. And I'm hoping that maybe that random appearance that we're going to get from Cressida in, like, let's say the end of season 4 might spark that for Eloise that could be her arc in season 5, where she's like, all right, I'm going to help Cressida find like a good husband this time. And I'm going to help like these ladies who have to get married because society, because economics, because whatever. I'm going to help them make the best matches that they can. And her through that process be like, wow, marriage actually can be really great. And then in like season 4 at some point she can maybe get a letter from a certain gentleman in the country who needs a wife because he has children to raise, and then she'll be like at the end of season 5 be like, hey, come to London, I'll find you a wife.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that because just before you said it, I was like, what if he writes it? You get it. That's a good one. That's really good. She could have like a side column and whistle down about like matchmaking or something.
I love that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, like I just feel the common denominator between these two is that she's just gonna like make something of herself that's not being a wife. And she's just gonna be, this little businesswoman, little entrepreneur in some way. And I think that's so Elle. That's so her. So yeah, I think we're gonna see a confident, not so childlike Eloise. And there's so much of season 3 where it was like she's in the middle of like the drama and like this and that. Like, I just want to see Eloise just living her best life, basically. So here's to that for season 4, Eloise.
Love that for her.
Yeah. Okay, another question is from at live love laugh 0417. Do you think Francesca will have kids with John or end up adopting with Michaela? I'm just going to insert a trigger warning before we talk about
Oh,
this. There is some sensitive topics.
that's such a hard question. Um, I think my instinct is that we're gonna see in season 4 Francesca struggling to get pregnant. Then I think we're gonna get like the triumph of her finding out she is truly pregnant, and then I think we're gonna lose John, and I think that she's gonna carry the baby to term. I think that's gonna be their child. I think. I don't know that for sure. I could be swayed. I see merit in both versions. I think that that's what it is. I think that partially because I think that her like losing John and losing a baby is just too sad. Like I don't think I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I don't know that Bridgerton's going to go that dark in season 4.
But yeah, I feel like you're right. It is super dark. And that's one of the things, like when I started reading the book, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so tough. Like, are you kidding me right now? So I think I would like that to be the truth, that she like finds out she's pregnant after, is that what you said? After he's passed? Right. And then carries it to term and that's their child. Like, I think that that's my ideal. I think that that would be really sweet and like let her keep a piece of him, of that, like the family. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed true to the book since they are really tackling some dark themes. And it's not like if they're inventing this, like it's from the book too. So it doesn't seem like a harsh turn of events for her if it's already written. But I prefer the theory that she has a baby, but oh gosh, it'd be just so sad to see her go through a pregnancy and then like, but maybe that's how she gets really close with Michaela. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, John, like, oh, it's gonna be so sad. But it's a storyline that, they haven't touched on yet. It's such an important storyline to go through, so I
Well,
don't
and I think
know.
it could also like echo for us Violet, like having to have her baby without her husband, and like I think having that very similar parallel for
Yeah,
Francesca. Yeah.
that just occurred to me too. That scene is so heartbreaking
It was super
in
sad.
season 2.
Yeah. That is really hard. That scene is really hard.
Yeah. So, but how beautiful would it be for her to have Michaela with her?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, very sweet, very bittersweet, actually. But it would be cute to see them adopt too. I would
Yeah,
love that
it would.
too. It'd be
Yeah.
cute.
Well, and I think that that
Oh
could be a
gosh.
really cool aspect too of showing like how queer couples even in the past were able to make their families and were able
Hmm.
to create the vision of life that they want. I also think it's really clear, like it seemed very clear in season 3 that they were setting up that Francesca wants one kid. Like
Oh
she
yeah.
like when Lord Samadani was like, "Oh, like 7 or 8, like your family." She was like, "No." Like
No.
I'm thinking like one.
Yeah. That's
So,
it. One and done.
yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Only time will tell. but that's a good question.
Okay, so at Anna Graham asked, how could Sophie overcome her fears as she explores her love story if it means no control? So I just think it'd be really interesting to talk about, like, how do we think Sophie is going to, shift that because love means letting go?
Oh, Sophie. How is she gonna? I don't. I mean, it's a process, and I think we're just going to see her go through like the ebbs and flows of figuring out how to just let herself be loved, because she's never felt that before. And I think a lot of it is going to be she's going to learn to let go of her past a little bit. And I think Benedict is just going to teach her a lot of like living in the moment and just trusting what's ahead of her as opposed to fearing what she's left behind. Like she needs to figure out how to move past that. And I think that, we're going to see her struggle a lot, but the main thing is I think Benedict's just going to his like free spirit side of him is what's going to be, like you've said before, the yin and yang of them together. What he's going to bring to the relationship is really just his ability to just live in the moment, be a free spirit, just try and just trust that everything's going to be okay. And she's just going to have to try and accept that, it's okay if somebody can give that to you because she's never been able to have anybody give it to her before. So it's going to be an interesting arc for her, but she'll get there.
I love that. And that was so smart. And it just triggered this thought in me that, like, Sophie is all about her past. She lives in her past. She's completely defined by her past. Benedict is all about the present. Everything is the hedonism, the in the moment, and neither of them are future until they meet each other. And then they get to meet in the future.
So cute. Oh gosh. The more we talk about them, oh my gosh, and rereading the book and everything, it's Sophie just, has such a special place in my heart. Oh gosh. It's gonna be so sweet. And even like I started rewatching season 3, and every time Benedict's on, I'm like, Benedict, you're gonna fall in love.
I need to do that. I haven't seen. We need to do a rewatch. Is what we do. We just need to like
Yes.
take us through from 1 through 3.
Next question, probably a really good one to end on, is from KM Woolgrove. They ask, how do you stop at 5 chapters? I read the whole thing and couldn't stop. So, great question. How do we just stick to 5 chapters at a time? Assuming that they're talking about An Offer from a Gentleman, which we are so close to finishing our reread on. So, how do we stop? How do we do it? How do we do it?
I don't know, honestly, because there are definitely moments where I think every single time where I've been like, okay, that's it. And I'm like, wait, you mean to tell me that I'm not going to turn to the next page? I'm not going to click on to
Yeah.
the next thing of the audio? Like, it is very hard. But I think doing it with kind of a, like, not really academic, but like, we're taking notes, we're dissecting this with a little bit more of that lens, it doesn't feel so much like I'm reading just for the funsies. It feels like I'm like, okay, I really want to deep dive this. I want to analyze. And it makes my brain a little more tired. So I think when I get done with the 5 chapters, I'm like, okay, like, and oftentimes I won't read them in one sitting. It'll be like a chapter here, a chapter there, because it is a little more tiring to do that rather than just to absorb it and like have fun with the story. So I think that
Yeah.
that's part of it, but I always want to turn to that next page. Like, it's hard.
Yeah. And we've definitely like stopped at like critical moments. And I'm like, what do you I know the lake scene is next and now we're just gonna wait. Like it seems like if it's your first go at it, like 5 chapters at a time is not the way to do it. I mean, unless you want to. I mean, it's fun to do it, follow along with the podcast. And we appreciate you if you are. But yeah, it's hard to stop yourself. But that's just a sign that it's just such a good story, such a good book, and you're immersed in it. And it's just proof that we needed a Bridgerton series. It was just too good. But yeah, you're right in that, like, it's very, we're taking like an academic view on it, taking notes and trying to analyze it. So it is good to, I've been like listening to it, like those segmented 5 chapters twice. So as soon as I finish it, I'm like, okay, let's do it again. Then I listen to it again. So we just get to experience it more, which is fun. But
That is very
definitely not easy to do when a book is that good. Next week is it. We are finishing An Offer from a Gentleman, which is crazy. Already done, and whoa, is it going to be a doozy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have some big scenes ahead of us. It's gonna be an adventure, but it's gonna be swoony and romantic and all the things, and so much benefit to look forward to.